Hello there, it's your boy Kero here to review some more Friday Night SmackDown for you. This week was interesting. Just like I told you last week, you should have tempered your expectations down because those were season premieres, right? WWE had Mr. Triple W. He had to do something, bring out the big gun. But there was nothing special about this week because out of these 2 whole hours, only 3 segments interested me. And I thought only one of them was good. Now the show started out with Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. They were backstage at the parking lot and Drew McIntyre absolutely destroyed Karrion Kross. And because of that, Kross could not participate in the #1 contendership match for the Intercontinental Championship. That is a mouthful to say. I'm not enjoying anything Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross are doing. Their matches, their segments, almost all of them were bad. And last week on SmackDown, I called their segments with the strap good, but it's good considering their standards. I am not looking forward to more segments with these two. Not looking forward to another match, though a one-on-one match I think will be better than their strap match. Karrion Kross, I don't even know if you can save him with good booking. Me personally, I just can't seem to enjoy the guy, can't seem to get behind him, can't seem to love him, can't seem to hate him. So I guess this week's question is, what do you think about Karrion Kross? What do you think about him right now, and what do you think he's gonna be doing 5 months later, for example? Will you be able to survive? Because I don't know, it's not looking good. Then we had a backstage segment with Sami Zayn, the entire bloodline. New Day came out, did their goofy entrance as always. Nothing remarkable. Although they did talk about the Usos, or at least they mentioned their tag team championship record. The Usos are about to pass in 30 days. But then we saw Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, and Jey Uso. They argued once again. Of course, you all know how Jey and Sami feel about each other. Roman said, Jey Uso, you're gonna help Sami Zayn today. You're gonna help him win. And he wasn't there in the arena. He was just on the phone with Sami Zayn. By the way, when I said on the phone, I did this, but only nerds do this. This is how you're supposed to do, because this is not a phone, right? What is this? This is not a phone. I don't know why I got into okay. Anyways, they do the match, Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. There's a botch in there with Kofi Kingston missing his crossbody, or maybe Sami Zayn didn't catch him properly. Don't know. Unexpected from these two because they're both pretty decent, to say the least, in the ring. But obviously the more important thing in this match is the story. And here we see Jey Uso helping Sami Zayn win the match. Without Jey Uso, this wouldn't have happened. And later on, Sami says, I didn't see you help me. I didn't even feel it. I beat Kofi Kingston all by myself. The same goes for Solo Sikoa. He says, I didn't see it either. I was just looking at Sami Zayn. Which is stupid, which is lazy writing. Or maybe there's a twist. A twist coming that we don't see yet, where the bloodline is gonna suddenly turn on Sami Zayn one day. If that's the case, and they're waiting for the right moment, okay, cool. If that isn't the case, then Solo Sikoa, well, he's strong, but only strong physically, if you catch my drift. And Roman Reigns is surely watching this on the TV, right? From wherever he is at this point. The reason I talk about this so much and bring it up and all that is because by doing this, WWE insults my intelligence and it insults your intelligence. Stop being lazy. Unless, like I said, there's a twist coming. Then we see Triple H talking to the police and they leave because, you know, the police were investigating Drew McIntyre and the Karrion Kross situation. Whatever. Cool, okay. The policemen leave, the officers leave, and then we see a bad father. Rey Mysterio comes in. He says, my mijo, he beat me so much, but I don't want to lay my hands on him. I'm not going to have him. I don't know. He says, I can't do this. I'm going to quit. And Triple H immediately goes, hold on there, buddy boy. Let's figure something out. Don't quit. Let me draft you to SmackDown and put you in a #1 contendership match. That was wild. But I actually like this segment. One thing I don't like, obviously, what we saw this Monday with Dominic Mysterio attacking Rey Mysterio, that was it. That was the blow off, at least for the foreseeable future. It's not the worst thing they can do, but I mean, I would have liked to see a match or something, anything, something big to really put Dominic on the map. Right now, that's all he had. And with Rey Mysterio being on SmackDown, all I'm gonna say is good luck, Dominic Mysterio. Then we had the worst segment of the night, straight out of NXT 2.0, honestly. Like, it was convoluted. They're trying to promote something, Halloween Havoc, some type of thing. Like, they promoted it in the promo. They talked about it a bunch of times on the commentary and all that, and I still don't know what in the hell is going on. Now, granted, I didn't listen real carefully because I'm not interested, but this is your goddamn job, WWE. You have to get me interested. And I don't think I'm alone here. If you weren't interested in, I guess, Halloween Havoc going on, or if you're not interested in NXT in general, this must have done literally nothing for you because it did the same, nothing. And honestly, this whole show until the main event felt like it was NXT 2.0. That's right, NXT 2.0, not the first good NXT, NXT 2.0, which is a little Worrying. And by the way, the entire night the crowd was very mild at best, besides a couple of moments. And that obviously brings down any show by a lot. Then we had another squash match. I was thinking, didn't we just see this at Raw with Omos? And speaking of Omos, he came out during the match where Braun Strowman was beating the hell out of two jobbers. And last week I asked, like, what can you do with Braun Strowman at this point? He's done. He got body slammed like the first week he came in. He's an absolute jobber. I guess if there's one thing you can do, it's this. And I'm saying this right now. Whoever loses this feud, goodbye. The person who loses this feud between Braun Strowman and Omos has numbered days in the WWE. Like, maybe I'm going too far by calling Braun Strowman a jobber, but honestly, he's a jobber to me and he will always be. Maybe some of you guys like him, maybe some of you guys think otherwise, but if he loses his feud to Omos, you will have nothing to say. You will have no defense at all. And I will smile and laugh, enjoy so much, it's gonna be insane. I'm excited to see this. Because all of you all, if Braun Strowman loses his feud, you will have to recognize and officially accept, once and for all, that Braun Strowman is a jobber. Oh yeah, by the way, MVP after the match cut a promo on Strowman. He said, "Fuck you, motherfucker." I guess something like that because he got muted. And the crowd had zero reaction to anything happening in this segment. Like, not zero, like minus 20. They didn't react at all. Like, come on, man. At least troll and entertain yourself some. I don't know. Now, the next segment was my personal favorite because I love LA Knight and we finally have him back. We should have never left him. This is 10 times better than anything he has ever done ever since he debuted. And I really wish the crowd was decent here. And I'm sure he's gonna start getting more reactions because, like, Triple H is now calling every single person from NXT up, which is a little crazy and a little concerning because not everyone deserves to be called up. But LA Knight was one of those guys because you can have this guy in any feud and he will do a job. You can give him any title in the WWE and he will make it look legit. He can walk, he can talk. He's decent in the ring. He got size. He's got the look. I mean, what else do you want with LA Knight, man? Even Wade Barrett said, why did we keep this guy in a suit when he had a physique like that? Great question, Vince McMahon. Would you like to give an answer to that one? And I was so scared after LA Knight won the match that he was not going to be able to cut a promo, but they did not do that, thankfully. He said, let me talk to you. Put everybody on notice. Said, yeah. Great. One thing I'll give a minus to, though, is that this match went too long, especially because this was basically a debut match. Once again, for LA Knight, this should have been like maybe 3 minutes, with Mansoor getting like a dropkick in, maybe a punch. LA Knight shouldn't have hit the mat at all, honestly. Besides, unless he was doing his finisher. But yeah, love everything about LA Knight right now, his theme song included. And I'll be looking forward to seeing what he'll do next week. This is an easy thumbs up from me. Then we had, once again, Damage Control. The group that will never ever go away. No matter where you run to, Damage Control will find you. So they were against Roxanne Perez, Shotzi Blackheart, and Raquel Rodriguez Gonzalez. It's Rodriguez, okay, I'll try to remember. And just when I memorize it, I'm sure she's gonna change her name again. I still don't know what her finisher is called. Chingado Bomb? No, I think it's something different. Oh, by the way, I spoke about Braun Strowman earlier, but nice gimmick infringement with that powerbomb there, buddy. Anyways, this match and most of the matches in this show in general, they lacked timing. Like, it would just take years for any wrestler in this match to set up any sort of move. So the match didn't flow together. It just felt sloppy, especially towards the end with Bayley and Roxanne Perez. I mean, like, Roxanne is not ready for the main roster. She's not ready for NXT, I believe. That was not good, bro. What are they doing down there in NXT? It was really, really bad. And the crowd giving no reaction at all also made it way worse. Because if the crowd was hot for this, it would have masked it, But this was bad, man. And Io Sky, like, did a moonsault to Raquel Rodriguez while she was holding Dakota Kai. So Io intentionally, with like 100% intention, hit Dakota Kai as well. Lazy, absolutely I mean, like, you could have done anything to not do that. That just makes the old Sky look like an asshole and like an idiot at the same time. Like, what are you doing? What is this? Yeah, I didn't like this match. It was slow, it was boring, and there was no story to it. What they were trying to promote was confusing. And week after week, or day after day, or minute after minute, seeing Damage Control all the time. I don't hate them, but they're starting to get real tiresome. Then I believe the return of Sarah Logan, which I don't dislike, actually. She was pretty decent. That was teased with the Viking Raiders. Cool. Then we quickly went to the debut of Legado del Fantasma in the ring at SmackDown. First Hit Row came out, then Legado was doing their entrance. They, attacked prematurely. The match was pretty short, and both of these teams had zero reactions. And honestly, I can't hate the crowd here because, sure, if you watched NXT, maybe you'll like these guys. But if you haven't watched these, all of these are completely new. All of these guys are completely new, and you have Top Dollar. They're doing some just cringy shit. I really don't like Hit Row. I just don't. They didn't catch my attention in NXT. When they came to the main roster, they did that rap thing. They completely lost me there. It was the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, I think. It was up there. It was up there. But here, they basically dropped out. Like, it was a real short match and they lost. And I hope whenever we see Hit Row, that's what they continue to do. Because like I said, they're not Hit Row to me. They're hit the skip button. Like Legado del Fantasma though. And definitely want to see more of every single member. But a good storyline. I think they got a pretty good future faction in their hands. So I hope WWE doesn't ruin them. Then we had the Liv Morgan segment. I was feeling a bit of sympathy for Liv Morgan for a long while, but after what I saw in Extreme Rules, after I saw her wrestle worse than indie wrestlers, I've just lost all interest in her. So I'll be honest, I'm a lot less inclined to care about what Liv Morgan does from this point on. And this segment was I don't know. So Sonya Deville is talking about in the backstage during an interview how bad Liv Morgan is, how she failed. And luckily Liv Morgan was there somehow. She overhears Sonya Deville talking shit about her and then she attacks her with the just bad, straight up bad looking punches. I mean, you work at the WWE. Someone should have pulled you aside and taught you this years ago. Anyways, I'm getting mad again. Just like Liv Morgan was. And she was about to back suplex Sonya Deville on a supply box, and she was saying oh, I failed, I don't have it, as she was trying to lift out Sonya Deville, and then she does the suplex. Zero sound. And I don't think this was live. I think this was later, it was live in quotation, it was recorded earlier. Why would you add some sound effect there or redo it so it doesn't look so freaking lame, especially after Liv says, oh, I don't have it, and then she does the back suplex, and this is literally the sound. You hear it? Something like this came out. And when that happened, I said, yes, obviously, look at what you just tried to do and absolutely failed miserably. Of course you don't have it, Liv. God damn. Why did I ever think for a second that you were good? Now, I guess some people are saying she's gonna join The Fiend, Bray Wyatt and whatever. But I'm not over the moon for Bray Wyatt either, so I don't know. Liv Morgan is just one of those people I'm gonna wish good luck to. Just like Dominic, just like Karrion Kross. Anyways, as you can see, SmackDown up until this point has been a bit boring. It was frustrating. Dare I say bad. Thankfully though, the main event was pretty good. Not good as it could have been, but it was pretty good. Because we have in the match Solo Sikoa, Sheamus and Ricochet, and as a surprise, like I said earlier, Rey Mysterio. Obviously, the standout moment in the match was Rey Mysterio and Ricochet going at it. It was one of the biggest pops at the night when they stared each other down. These guys can have banger after banger after banger after banger, to quote Sheamus there. And speaking of Sheamus, he was of course good in this match as well. Towards the end, Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn come out and attack Sheamus. And then Brawlin' Brutes come out. And again, this is like a small zero IQ moment. Again, they come out, the Brawlin' Brutes, completely dressed in black. They're attacking the Usos, who are also dressed in black. They got a bit of red, but they're basically 90% dressed in black. Now think about it. If you're new to the WWE, how much sense does this make? Couldn't anybody think about this? Doesn't anybody have the experience or the mindset to think about this? Maybe somebody should have said, let's not send Butch and Ridge Holland dressed in all black in turtlenecks. What are they? The Shield? Plus they're attacking the Usos who are also dressed fully in black. Maybe we should at least let them wear their merch that says Brawling Brutes. The viewers know when they come out that they are the Brawling Brutes. And maybe dress them in blue. Maybe dress them in white. Some other color, literally anything else that is not on the Usos. So when you're watching on the screen, you can differentiate easily who's who. It's a simple thing. How do you $1 million company, man? And you're not gonna pay attention to this? I'm not saying set the world on fire, right? I'm not saying make pigs fly. I'm not saying spin the world in its opposite direction. I'm just saying something so simple as maybe every single person involved in the segment shouldn't wear all black. So it's easier to figure out who's who. Other than that, there was a little bit of a botch with that tower powerbomb spot that I guess the crowd reacted for, but I hate it because we see it in every single freaking multi-man match ever. So I absolutely hate that, but the crowd reacted, so I was like, fair enough. The crowd cheered, but they kind of botched it as well. It wasn't as good. Regardless, the rest of the match was good. And Rey Mysterio won, which is interesting because your mind immediately goes to, oh shit, Gunther. Der Ringgeneral Gunther, wie alt bist du? He's the champion. We're gonna see Rey Mysterio versus Gunther. And that match is just super intriguing because it's right up Gunther's alley and it's right up Rey Mysterio's alley. David versus Goliath. It doesn't get any better than this. I guess it's gonna happen at Saudi Arabia. But yeah, this is something to look out for sure. And then we had the Bray Wyatt segment, which I'm gonna get to, but before that I want to just talk about main championships. Just think about having a WWE champion that's separate, doesn't hold the two titles, he's drafted to SmackDown. You would at least have a couple of segments, right? And the segments would be big and important because it's about the WWE champion, thus about the WWE championship. And that by default would have made this SmackDown better, but without it, man did it suffer. But anyways, we get to the main segments, the last segment of the night, and it was real confusing. Bray Wyatt came out with a new theme song. It's not the White Rabbit, I'm assuming. It's a song that I have never heard before, at least. Makes his entrance cool. The crowd reacts well, sort of, as best as this crowd could. And then Bray Wyatt cuts a real weird promo. Like, at first I was like, oh my god, what am I seeing here? What is this? And then a couple of sentences in, I started to realize, oh, I guess I see what's going on here. He talks about how sad he was, how depressed he was, how he was heading in a bad direction. But the fans, man, they chased him. They brought him back. They saved the life of Bray Wyatt. And he's about to cry. Good acting, I guess. And then he's gonna thank everyone and stuff like that. The lights go completely out. We see a man with the Giga Chad mask at the Titantron. And he says, you're not going anywhere, buddy. I'm getting you. That's the gist of it. So I guess that Giga Chad is the Fiend and he's still after Bray Wyatt. If this was a TV show or a movie, sure, but like when we're talking about pro wrestling here, of course we need a story. But this didn't sit well with me, and like my immediate thought was from Wyatt's entrance, oh, this is gonna divide people. I guess where I land on is the side of the fans that really doesn't enjoy what's going on with Bray Wyatt right now. Now, I'm not writing off completely. I mean, this was the first week, right? We'll see where the story goes. So far, not really interesting me. Because it's really hard to make a supernatural character believable in the WWE, right? And at this day and age, I don't think it's possible. Like, I'm not saying make him completely believable, 100%, but make it easy to suspend our disbeliefs, And with the age of social media, I think the last guy who pulled it off and who will ever pull it off was The Undertaker. And I don't hate supernatural stuff like 100%, but it definitely has to be done real carefully and not in abundance. So for example, I don't want to have to see Bray Wyatt doing weird stuff, laughing, teleporting around, burning everybody, because then it doesn't look like pro wrestling. It doesn't look like, it looks like a circus. But hopefully it will be believable enough. Hopefully we'll get a good storyline out of this. My opinion on the last segment was, like I said, it's, I don't know. I'm just going to hang back and see where it's going to go. But right now, it just left a bitter taste in my mouth. But I guess this will be the second question. What do you guys think about Karrion Kross? That was number one. And what do you guys think about this segment, the last segment of this SmackDown in particular? I would really like to know your thoughts on it. With that being said, this was the end of my review for tonight's SmackDown. I think we're going to have to suffer a little bit until Survivor Series starts coming up. But don't worry. The more boring Raw and SmackDown becomes, the madder I'll get, so the more entertaining my videos will become, I would assume. So at least you got that to look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching me. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you would subscribe, you would help me out a lot. With that being said, this has been Kero, and I'll see you on the next one.